come in the middle and just work on one silhouette at a time and then scoot them over as I finish them. So I actually like to start out figuring out what my spine curve, the gesture of my movement is first, getting the tilt of the shoulders and the pelvis, and making a little skeleton before I 100% start blocking out my silhouette. Women's shoulders align with their hips. Men's shoulders extend beyond their pelvis. If you want an androgynous character, you can have a combination of both. Your forearm, same length as your bicep. Your thigh is the same length as your calf. Your feet have a little ball. They extend out to a nice big trapezoid. And shoes are easier to draw overall than feet. This I don't have to stick to, it's just a starting point. And I really want some drop crotch pants, so that's why I'm choosing this position in particular. I'm kind of fiddling with it because I know this character is going to have some drop crotch pants. Get my size proportion right. You don't want to make the head too big. Think about my trap and my pectoral muscle. Just have a little placeholder if I know that these characters are going to have some kind of accessory. Okay, so I got a basic position down. This is about as generic as it gets. Could go either as a female, a male, or a androgynous character. I have lots of options. Now, if you have a position that you don't want to change, or you're not sure you want to go with and you don't want to mess up as well, I can always duplicate this layer by clicking on the layer or right clicking it and going to duplicate. You should be able to do Command D or Control D to duplicate it too, but my mind's also drawing a blank. You're going to get this little option that says duplicate layer. I haven't named my layers yet, and I will eventually. And I'll just click the eyeball off of the layer below it so I can just work on this one. And the first thing I'm going to do is solidify the head and the legs because I feel pretty comfortable with the torso. And there's going to be lots of clothes that I want to add to that. So I just want to make sure the parts that I struggle with, because I'm better with torsos, are going to look good. At this point, I'm going to start blocking in solid color. And I'm going to start to give hints of clothing as I go along. So I know I want those drop crotch pants, right? So start to leave little insinuations of wrinkles. A little bit of hint of contour there. The more attention to detail, the better. For those of you who watch Project Runway, they call drop crotch pants poopy pants. I always thought that was funny. Now you may notice that I'm coloring in, and then I am switching my foreground and background color to kind of refine my contour a little bit. When I'm erasing as a drawing tool, that is called working subtractively. When I'm adding color as a drawing tool or adding value as a drawing tool, that is called working additively. So at this point, I'm going to turn the audio off. I'm going to work on this for a while. Hopefully I won't mess you up. Full disclosure, this is the second time I'm working on this character, but I got so frustrated with where it was going, I actually decided to start this video at a new point. So I will start talking at you a little bit more in a couple of minutes once I get to the next step. Alright guys, I'm going to call these finished. You'll notice that they're all majority the same height. That is not a good thing. I have one little short dude in a trench coat there, but for the most part they're very similar in height. One of the reason for that is these are actually some characters I already had in mind for a magical girl type of thing. So everybody's like 9 heads tall and super elongated. Some things that I did that I may have not gone over earlier. Over here, I've renamed my layers, and sometimes I would rasterize them by right-clicking them and go to rasterize image. And then I would right-click the mask and hit apply mask. That way I can select individual parts and resize them. When you have something selected and you want to resize it, I'll just select something with my polygon tool here. I can either go to edit, transform, and pick the one I want, or I can just hit Command T, and that way I can transform individual body parts if I notice that something's weirdly out of proportion or I want to try something different. Also, you may notice that I went back and put in some inner detail here, even though I said no inner detail for this project. Think of this as a little bit of light that is peeking through around the edges of certain things, just to help define them a little bit more. Overall, I push you to be more brave and explored more silhouettes than I did. Do as I say, not as I do. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in class.